Assalamu alaikum, good morning, good afternoon, bonjour à tous et à toutes, and welcome to this 15th webinar of the World Vision Organization in this, let's say, strange 2020. I will be joined by my colleague Nicolas to present to you our 2021 flagship project. If 2020 we dedicated to our Safe Zone program, safety and security, risk management and compliance within the zones. Next year, we will continue focusing on that program and I will add on it another flagship project called Business to Business Platform. As you have seen in the agenda, I will make a short introduction more than introducing the organization. As I have seen from the participants, all of you are, let's say, familiar with us. I will make a very short update about our organization. And after, I will leave the floor to my colleague Nicolas in order to make this session more active. We will add two elements. One, some very short plot question, which we will, or poll question, which I will ask you to answer. And after, we will have our Q&A session. So don't hesitate, since my presentation, don't hesitate to share with us all your questions. So as I said, let me share with you some few updates about the organization, and after we leave the floor to my colleague Nicolas. So this year, 2020, okay, let me see, what can I do? Okay, this year, 2020, is the year of the consolidation of the global presence of the World Vision Organization. As you see here, we went beyond of our 700 members from 135 countries, thanks to the great job developed not only by the headquarters based in Dubai Airport Vision United Arab Emirates, but also thanks to our 11. This I need to add another regional offices, which we signed it last week. We have 11 regional offices, and our regional offices are there to answer all your needs. We built the structure of the regional office because we strongly believe that our regime, the free zones, has two main challenges among others. The global one with the World Trade Organization, with the World Customs Organization, the global, let's say, challenges due to the global value chain, but also we have some regional realities, the one that are linked to the Mercosur, to the EFTA, to the European Union, or to the ASEAN. So our regional offices are there also to solve our regional need. Just to express my gratitude to all these regional offices, I named them. We have one in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, in Argentina, in Morocco, in Nigeria, in Catalonia, Spain, in Jordan, in Serbia, in India, in China, and we just added another one in Kazakhstan, and we just added another one last week in Singapore. These are our embassy for this region, and they develop all our activities. And on the top of it, in order to be even closer to our members, we created another structure which has been extremely successful and welcomed, which what we call national contact points in every country in which free zones are active. The regional or the national association, the Consejo or the board of free zones. This helped us to be even closer for you, and the role of the national contact point, it is to make our activities related to capacity building, related to training, to related data, statistic, and be closer to the academia and to research to be more efficient. So this is what we achieved in 2020 as a new structure. Just also to let you know that we continue it with our project of the Free Zone of the Future, which we started in Cartagena de Indias, Colombia, in which we said, confirm it in Dubai 2018 and implemented in 2019 in Barcelona. We said free zones of not only contribute to the local development through business excellence and economic contribution, business excellence, improving the easy doing business of the country, and economic contribution through creating jobs, attracting investors, and improving the international trade beyond just contributing to the local development zones should contribute also to the local prosperity through improving quality, innovation, and sustainability, quality, collecting the knowledge created by the companies, establishing the node, safety and security for money, good, intellectual property, and person, digital. Since the day we created this organization, we said zones should be digitally ready, tech ready. It is not now that we are pushed by this current situation. Every free zone should be innovative in its management, innovative in supporting the 85% of the company based on the free zone, small and medium enterprises. And why not only attracting investors from outside the country, creating new companies locally through incubation center. Sustainability, of course, not only the really critical element of the environment, but sustainability also through the quality of job and job of the quality for the employees, both of the Free Zone Authority and the Free Zone Company. And it is not now that we have this critical pandemic situation that we have to rush and have our corporate social responsibility program. We said it since years ago. So we continue with the implementation of our program Free Zone of the Future. We name it Free Zone 4 or we name it Prosperity Index. Also, we restructured the benefit and the services we offer to our members and our stakeholders in 4 elements: the Free Zone Institute, the Free Zone Laboratory, the Free Zone Academy, and the Free Zone Network. The Free Zone Institute is our certification and publication arm. As I told you, successfully we launched our Safe Zone program, and free zones can adhere now to become safe and secure. We are in the pilot phase of green and tech-ready zones. Academy is our training program, our training arm. We are decided to launch our online free zone management program, and just to let you know, the first week of December we will train 25 CEOs of free zones from with the collaboration of Islamic Development Bank. The training is called Leadership Under Uncertainty, and if you are interested, just let me know. We'll share with you the information about this course. The laboratory is our consulting arm. It is how we support governments and how we support free zone stakeholders in improving the free zone environment. Just as some very two quick example, we are working with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in establishing a new free zone regime, and we are improving the free zone regime existing in another country, Albania. Our free zone laboratory, if you want to create a free zone regime, we can help you. If you want to improve the current existing one, just contact us. Network, it is our global event and our regional event, and of course the objective of our let's say meeting today, our business-to-business platform. So our business-to-business platform is our flagship project for next year, and it is, in our opinion, a platform in which the 3 million companies hosted in the 3,000 free zones in more than 150 countries will contribute much better and more efficiently to the global trade. 75% in the business-to-business transaction in the next 5 years will be through online marketplace. This is why we think, and it is because it's easier, it's faster, and it's more efficient. And we strongly believe that this is a great opportunity for the free zones. So our business-to-business platform is a platform dedicated to the Free Zones Authority, to the 3 million companies within the zones, and to all our stakeholders. Our objective it is to boost the business volume, increase visibility, and drive digital transaction. I think I need to stop here. The most important speaker is my colleague Nicholas, who will give you much more information about this business-to-business platform. I encourage you, please, to share with us all your questions, but in order, as I said, to make this presentation much more interactive, let me share with you two very short questions now, and after the end of Nicolas' presentation, I will share with you other two short questions. So Sajan, can you please put the first poll question? Okay. Please choose among the following business-to-business e-commerce functions the three most important ones for you: transaction paperwork management, digital wallet solution, escrow facility, request for proposal or request for quotation circulation, and business-to-business chat tool. You have 30 seconds to answer our question. 66% of the participants mentioned the transaction paperwork management, 56 the digital wallet solution, 22 escrow facility, 63 to manage requests for proposal and request for quotation, and 53 it is to communicate through chat tool. This is really a very encouraging answer. I would like to share with you a second poll question before leaving the floor to my colleague Nicholas. Sajan, can we see the second question? What is your typical business-to-business transaction size? Less than $1,000, $1,000 to $50,000, $50,000 to $100,000, and over $100,000. Okay, Sajan, can we see the answer, please? Okay, 3% less than $1,000, more than half it is $1,000 to $50,000, 70% $50,000 to $100,000, and 28% over $100,000. So I insist, don't hesitate to share with us all your questions. At the end of Nicolas' presentation, I have two more poll questions to share with you, and we will have Q&A answer. Just to let you know, if the time allows us, we will answer all the Q&A. If not, our commitment will be to answer all the questions by email. I need just to mention to Captain Ravi Dutta that all the two presentations, mine and the Nicolas presentation, will be shared by all the participants 24 hours after the end of this webinar. It means tomorrow, and a reply to Amal, whoever interested in our leadership program, he will receive the more information about the leadership program. Nicolas, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Samir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Let me take you through the main elements of our Omnia platform in a few slides. So the first thing to understand is that this is very much a digital marketplace for free zone stakeholders exclusively. So it has been built and designed with an end-to-end focused service for free zones. And by stakeholders, we mean the free zone management and free zone authorities, as well as the free zone companies themselves operating within those free zone segments. The idea is for this marketplace to allow free zone companies to find, trade, and transact with each other in a seamless fashion, all on this single platform. The scope of Omnia is global. So we are not focused on a particular region. A lot of marketplaces and online platforms usually have some kind of focus. In our case, because free zones exist everywhere, that focus is global. So it provides a very wide scope and reach. And the key aspect, which I'm very glad is important to you based on the polls, is that we provide on this platform a complete transaction documentation management solution, which I will explain a little bit more in the slides to come. Now, a very important feature of this platform is the fact that every member will be vetted. in a very simple process. So we will create a vetted free zone business community by ensuring that any private company will become a member only through the free zone that they operate in. So the idea is that we will have free zone partners who will enable us to onboard their entire roster of companies as free members onto the platform, and that each of those companies will have a free zone license in valid form. So by ensuring that each member has an operating license that is up to date, we ensure that every company that is a member of the platform is a genuine user, and therefore that every transaction that takes place on the platform is a genuine transaction between genuine parties. Now, the onboarding of all the companies within a partner free zone will be done automatically. It will be done using the free zone credentials that the companies have provided to the free zone in order to obtain their license. And that means that those companies will have no effort to make and will be able to choose the level of user interaction they have on the marketplace. A little bit more about that in a moment. Now, for free zone companies that are currently members of the World Free Zones organization, that process, of course, will be very easy since we already have a relationship with them. Any new free zones that wish to use the Omnia platform can also do so by contacting the World Free Zones organization and being onboarded that way so that we can then bring their companies onto the platform as well. So this is a perfect opportunity for those free zones not yet members to become members of the organization and access Omnia as well as all the other features that the organization offers. Now, the idea was to design a platform with a best-in-class approach. So the idea is to create features that are based on current leading trends in order to provide what is already the best level of service, and to ensure that this service applies more specifically to free zones and is enhanced in the areas that free zones require. So we will, of course, aim to drive business to all of our members on Omnia in order to increase their business volume. And we will do that by providing search tools that make it very easy for their products and services and even the companies themselves to be found. That's part of the features that are common on many marketplaces that will be pushed even further on ours. So requests for proposals, requests for quotes will be able to be circulated to targeted audiences on the platform very easily. Detailed search tools, filter tools will also be available so that it's very straightforward to find the party that you want to transact with. Every member will have a storefront where they can showcase their products, their services in an easy, customizable way. This will be fairly open and not based on a particular payment system. A lot of platforms have a very low threshold of products and services you can post before you have to pay extra. We're going to ensure that that threshold is actually quite generous. And the key aspect that we want to put forward is the full transaction tracking system that we will put in place. So this will allow every member for any transaction to have all of the paperwork of each step of a transaction archived on our system and only visible to either party involved in the transaction. This will be an encrypted system based on a blockchain structure, which I will expand on in a moment. And the idea is for this to provide full audit capacity for each parties in a transaction that takes place on the platform, but also privacy, because the encryption ensures that this data is not visible either by the World Free Zone organization or by the Omnia staff or anyone else, other than by the parties involved or based on their authorization to someone else. So this is how this platform is going to serve you and answer your needs as thoroughly, and in fact, more thoroughly than most solutions out there. So let's walk through some of those key features. We're going to provide an escrow tool based on a digital wallet solution. So that will allow you to make payments through the platform by way of that digital wallet, and to install escrow facilities to customize your payment terms with any party that you transact with. This will be customizable. This will be an insurance that the transactions and the payment for those transactions are fast and secure, and can be done in a variety of currencies if need be. The transaction documentation is going to be following the steps of a transaction. So from the request for proposal or quote, all the way to the final payment and delivery receipt, every document of every step is going to be provided to you as a customizable template, which you can use at your leisure, or that you can replace with a document of your own. The idea is to create a chain of documents that tracks the entire transaction, so that these documents are archived through the platform database. So you are free to keep your own copies, but you know that this is backed up by our own storage, encrypted storage on the platform. And again, that is only accessible to you, the parties involved in the transactions. If you want to give access to someone outside of this transaction for audit purposes, say an accounting firm or a law firm, you are free to do so, but that is within your control. You have complete privacy over that. The other aspects that we're implementing in the platform are a rating system for the products and services that are sold on the platform at each transaction, but also for the vendors and the members participating in that transaction. So this rating is a fairly common feature that we see on platforms, and it is there for a very good purpose, to enhance the visibility and the credibility across the sectors and the transactions that take place. It's a very easy way to identify the high quality parties that you may wish to transact with. A peer-to-peer messaging system is also going to be in place that will allow you to begin negotiations before you enter into a formal transaction, to ask questions about products and services. And whenever a transaction takes place, the messages related to that transaction, can also be tied in our tracking system, so that you may access not just the documents that you've saved, but also the messaging that took place around that transaction in order to secure it. So again, this will be an additional tool that you can use to track your workflow very, very effectively. The platform will be available on desktops, of course, but will also have its full set of features available through mobile. So that ensures that if you are a party engaging with the platform on desktop, but you're transacting with another party in another country or free zone that is using the platform on a mobile, both of you will have seamless visibility and transaction workflow. All the features will be equally available on both sides, and that will ensure that you can reach a wide range of users, not just the ones that are interacting with the platform in the same way that you are. So this is to ensure that everyone is served appropriately and can choose the format with which they interact with the marketplace. As mentioned before, every member is vetted. So when you are on the platform and when you're interacting with a user, you know that that user is a genuine entity, and a company with an active license in a genuine free zone. So there's a lot of comfort there and a lot of security provided by this structure that ensures that you're only dealing with genuine parties. So this makes it even more secure. And of course, we'll provide analytics for your transactions, for your products and services, so that you're better able to fine-tune your offerings, to adapt your proposition to your potential partners and clients. And so the marketplace can better serve you as you interact with it more and more. Now, the format that we're going to go with is a freemium model. It's a tried and tested model. It works very well. So going back to what was explained for the onboarding, when a free zone becomes a partner of Omnia, all the companies that are operating within that free zone automatically become free members of the platform with the basic registration and basic visibility that this provides. This is done through the free zone registration information that each company has provided to the free zone. So the companies don't have anything to do, no additional work. They just automatically become free members. And they then choose whether or not to upgrade to the premium status, which gives them the full access to all the features I just described. This is completely within their control. They can do so at any time. The upgrade to premium is at a cost that's comparable to a LinkedIn subscription. Certainly for now, we're fine-tuning the actual amount, but we're looking at something under $50 a month. It is payable monthly or annually at a discount, again, based on existing models that work very well. And this will provide the full set of features immediately upon upgrade. So the tiered system that you see very often in a lot of other platforms that are designed to extract as much money from users is not what we're going with. We're going with something very simple, going something very very effective that is really designed for you. Now, the partner free zones are going to have a slightly different page accessible to them. As partner free zones, they will have a free dedicated member page with a tailored set of tools that will allow them to communicate better with their members through the platform and potentially also offer products and services to interested parties. The idea is that the partner free zones are free members forever, but that the free zone companies will have access to the free membership, but also the premium features at the time of their choosing. Now, in order to build this platform, a number of technological solutions are required. Rather than build everything from scratch, which is a delicate proposition for stability and the security of the systems, we went with existing tools that have been tried and tested on a number of multi-vendor marketplaces very successfully, and therefore are extremely stable and extremely robust. So the platform that we're going to use for this marketplace has a wide user community, has very solid support structure to ensure that it remains active and online and reliable throughout the use that you may make. And as we grow, regardless of how widely or how quickly we grow, this marketplace will remain solid and available. The digital wallet solution, the escrow solution will all be provided by industry leaders and will be passed on to you at cost. So we're considering at the moment a number of different parties. They include MangoPay, Payoneer, PayPal, and also banking institutions that are focused more online, such as TransferWise. The final choice will be determined based on the compatibility of their features with your needs, and this will be done and fine-tuned again via a lot of iterations and interactions with you. The blockchain structure I mentioned before for the transaction documentation system is going to be a private permissioned blockchain structure. So this is based on the Hyperfabric solution from the Linux Foundation. This is a model that is closed, so it's not open to the public. It is only made up of the members of the marketplace, the vetted members of the marketplace, and that ensures complete privacy, yet again. This blockchain structure is very sturdy and reliable and is actually very, very hard, if not impossible, to hack, which makes it a very secure system to store documents. The way it's going to happen is that the documents will be stored in a secure server. They will be tracked through this blockchain database and accessible to you at any time. Again, these documents are the storage that we provide, but you are free to have your own stocked wherever you need. So it provides complete flexibility that way, but also complete security, which is our most important aspect. And finally, we'll have a dedicated client support service for the premium members. It's going to be email-based, dedicated to you. We'll have a team there to answer any of your questions, provide support, so that you know that you have all the requirements that you need and all the backup that you need to ensure that you make the best use of this this marketplace and all of its features at any time. Now, the idea is that through its vetted community, this platform will be a clean trade standard. Every transaction on there will be with vetted members. The business volume that this is going to drive for you is going to be an immediate improvement. And the key to understand is that this platform is not just designed for large international transactions, such as many of you have mentioned, maybe the amounts that you're dealing with over $100,000, but it can also work equally well at a local level. So we've experienced, for example, that a lot of companies deal with each other within the same free zone. And the fact that they're next door to each other does not mean they can't use this marketplace. In fact, it's an even better reason to use it in order to track things fairly properly, a process that sometimes gets forgotten due to the proximity of parties. So here you can make sure that everything is followed very well, even within your own free zone. When you have complementary businesses, for example, in an airport, different complementary businesses interact with each other, they can use the marketplace to do so. Within a given territory, but between free zones, is also a very suitable transaction dynamic that can be used on the marketplace. So if, for example, you have, like in Dubai or in Singapore and other places, a media free zone for events and another free zone that deals with content production. Very often for an event, you want some video coverage. These companies will find each other on the marketplace and will be able to transact with each other through the tools that we provide, just as well as if they are within the same free zone or across the world. And that last part, regionally and globally, these transactions across the world are, of course, the ideal solution as well for this platform, particularly when it comes to payments, because our digital wallet and escrow facilities will ensure that even though you are thousands of miles apart, you can trust the other party based on their rating, based on the escrow terms that you've set, and that will ensure that your transactions flow smoothly and are tracked by our documentation system from beginning to end. So this is really something that is designed with free zones in mind, with the dynamics of free zone companies in mind, at whatever scale and whatever level you may require it to operate. Now, the final thought I want to leave you with is that Omnia is very much a collaborative platform. And by that, I mean that we want this to evolve. There will be a structure that starts this off, but we very much want to improve and upgrade this platform on a regular basis. And we want to do this in partnership with you because this platform is designed for you. So we do want your feedback as much as possible. We will create channels for this to be easy for you to provide so that we are better able to understand your needs as we progress, better able to adapt to those needs on the platform by providing the solutions you require, so that all the features that we add are always going in the right direction, yours. In terms of timing, one thing to understand is that, and Dr. Samir will expand a bit more, but the idea is that we're entering a pilot phase at the moment during the technical build of the website. So building a website like this takes several months. The idea is to have something ready to go online by the summer of next year. In the meantime, we want to work with free zone partners to bring on as many of the free zone companies as free members on board from the moment of launch. So that means that we can start to work with you today to do this. And at the moment of launch, when the site goes live, have immediately all those companies ready to trade with each other. So this pilot phase is something that is taking place at the moment and that you can take part of immediately. A last small thing that was raised in our earlier version of this presentation regarding parties that are not in free zone areas. At the moment, we're building this for free zone stakeholders. So we are limiting it to free zone stakeholders in order to make sure that this segment of our target audience is well served. If, as part of the feedback that you provide, you express this desire to include outside parties, it is certainly something that down the line can happen, but we will ensure that if it does happen, it happens with the same vetting approach that we have for free zone companies to ensure that this platform remains a truly gated community that remains secure at all times for any party involved in the transactions that are there. So eventually down the line that can happen. We need to understand how you would like this to work, and we want to build something that makes sense for you. At first, free zone stakeholders only. We're going to do this very well, very robustly. And then if there is scope and desire to expand, we can certainly address that. At this point, I'm going to hand things back over to Dr. Samir, and I see that we have a lot of questions that came through that we can address. And I thank you very much for your time and your attention. And over to you, Dr. Samir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nicolas. I think all the participants will agree with me. It was very clear and well presented elements of this business-to-business platform. Before starting our Q&A, as I already mentioned to you, I would like to share with you two more short questions. So Sajan, can we have the third poll question, please? How much of your business-to-business transaction volume is with other free zone companies? Less than 20%, 20 to 50%, 50 to 80, over 80%. Please, you have 30 seconds to answer this third poll question. Sajan, can we see the answer, please? Okay, 59%, less than 20%, 26, between 20 to 50%, 11, 50 to 80%, and 4, over 80%. There is a lot of work to do to improve the trade between the free zones company. Sajan, the last poll question, please. What currency do you trade in most? Dollars, euro, or your local currency? Okay, 52% US dollar, almost 20% euro, and the third local currency. Okay, thank you very much for your participation. As my colleague Nicolas already mentioned, we have plenty of questions, but we are left just with 10 minutes to end this webinar. So I saw that already Nicolas answered Ahmed's question in the sense that our first target will be the free zones company, and after we will see if we can extend to include other companies. The only criteria to select the question are not only their importance. Let me take a geographical distribution. We'll try to answer Philippe Dauvergne, mon ami de Luxembourg, and we will try to answer Dr. Mohan from Dubai, Arwa from Jordan, Sam from China question, and if we are left with time, we will answer others. If not, I commit with you, we will answer all the question by email. The first question, as I mentioned, it is coming from Philip. Data protection and the right to access by some governments are central question, even in Europe. What is the current situation about and where the data will be localized, Nicolas?
So there's data protection and there's document auditing. So I'll address this on two fronts. The data protection, which is, I believe from the question, the data that is gathered by online platforms and stored about customers in order to customize the experience, is something that is a very local legal matter, but that will be very limited in terms of our marketplace. The analytics that users will receive will be based only on their transactions and will come under the guise of a private data gathering exercise rather than a public one like platforms are usually falling under. That is a legal matter that needs to be fine-tuned and that we are working on. In terms of storing documents, the idea of the permissioned blockchain structure is that there are key nodes within a network that validate the storage of documents. These nodes will actually be the free zones themselves. And to the extent we can, we will store the documents on local servers within the territory of these free zones so that they remain within the legal boundary of the companies that use those documents. So this is still something that is a work in progress and that requires attention, but that's, that we are definitely tracking.
Okay. Thank you very much. The next question is coming from Dr. Mohan. Dr. Mohan is a usual speaker in our webinar, and the day he is not a speaker, he's dedicating his time to put critical questions so to the other speakers, which is typical. So the question coming from Dr. Mohan is, there are a number of business-to-business platforms. Why should one opt for Omnia, and what is the unique that the other has not?
Certainly, good question. So a lot of B2B platforms are focused either by region or by industry, or if they are not focused, they certainly have a large weight attached to a particular region. However, based on the research that we've conducted, the key weakness of these platforms is the vetting process. The vetting process is very much voluntary and is performed by obscure third parties that are not ideally transparent. We've addressed that immediately by making this platform one where you can only onboard through a free zone, and a free zone that we will have checked and vetted. So this platform is one where the vetting process is fully transparent, but also more reliable than on any other platform around. And that is the primary reason I would say that Omnia makes sense to use as a B2B platform. The other is our transaction tracking system, which will be second to none, and which will, combined with the vetting process, make this platform truly unique to the users that want to make use of it.
Okay, we move to Sam. Sam, who is our representative in China and speaking about on behalf of Chinese free zones and Chinese free zone company. He said in the presentation, we mentioned the transaction doc. What about the logistics?
Well, there's only so much that we can do. The reason we tackled the documentation aspect first is that it is a far more standard set of steps across regions and industries than the logistics of delivering products or services. So whilst a lot of, if not all transactions have a similar kind of documentation, all of them will have different ways of delivering the product or service that is being purchased. So we have chosen not to address that. It also provides some flexibility for the users to use the logistics that they want in order to fulfill the transaction. That is something that some other companies or some other platforms offer as a solution, but very often they offer it as a partnership with a logistics company. And what that does is it ties you to the partnership that that platform has decided to have, rather than one that you have decided to have as a user. So in essence, I would say that tracking the transaction documents is something that is very good to delegate to the platform, but you should keep control of the logistics that you use, because they're going to be very specific to your transactions. And so that's why we've chosen to leave that within your control as users, rather than try to provide a solution that fits everyone and that in fact would end up suiting no one.
Okay, before moving to our questions, I just want to answer later my concluding remark, Arsen's questions, and for Amal, which is interested in linking her company in Egypt with the company here with Dubai, we will put you in touch with the local authority. Okay, Arwa is somehow asking about more details in the running and the implementation of the business-to-business platform. She's saying, let's say I'm through my free zone authority registered, how it will work. So I'm a free zone company, through my free zone, I have been registered. So I start connecting to free zone. How can I select? How can I connect? How can I start selling and buying?
So the key here is that the free zone that you operate in has to be a partner of Omnia. Now, if you're a company and your free zone is not yet a partner, you can do one of two things. You can either contact the World Free Zones organization saying, I would like to use Omnia, please make my free zone a partner. Or you can contact your free zone itself and say, this would be something that would benefit your community. Please ensure that we can have access to it. In either case, the process will be the same. We will speak with the free zone authority, and as soon as the partnership is settled, which is a fairly straightforward process, they will provide the details of all their companies in the free zone. All these companies will become, by an automated process, free members. They will be contacted to explain that they are free members, that they can upgrade at any time. From that point on, you as a company within that free zone will be able to use all the facilities on the Omnia platform. So it's a fairly straightforward process. It's a fairly fast process, but still requires a few working days to go through the hoops. That is in order to ensure that the vetting process happens, is clear, is transparent, so that when you are on board and when you are on the platform, you know that you're safe in conducting any transaction with any other member that you identify.
I'm just looking to the time. Let me, if you don't mind, Nicolas, have a last question. We have plenty of them, but a last one. It's coming from Arsene, and how platform will validate members which use to circulate its official papers in local language. How are we, let's say, registering a free zone member?
So I think I'm going to address the local language side of this question. So the platform will initially be available in English. As we progress, additional languages will become available. A lot of them are already available within the platform solution that we chose. So that may come very quickly, but we do want to test it to make sure that everything is appropriate in each local language that we will support. In terms of validating member free zones, that's done pretty much in the same way that the World Free Zone organization validates candidate members. So it doesn't really matter what local language you use. Inevitably, that will come to a common language used to validate the free zone. The free zone itself will then provide the company details in English, because those details are going to be fairly basic. They're going to include address, contact details, numbers and emails, and perhaps contact names for the initial usernames and passwords that will be provided. Everything else will be something that the company can fill in at their leisure. So things like products and services or industries and so on will be things that the company can customize. But the initial details will be fairly straightforward and will not be a language barrier in and of itself. I hope this answers this question, but if it doesn't, please provide another one and we'll answer it by email later.
I think we had an immediate reply from Arsene saying, thanks, fair enough. Nicolas, I think we reached the end of this webinar. I will have some concluding remark, and concluding this remark, my remark will start perhaps answering my brother Safwan from Malaysia question, which is the best introduction to my concluding remark. Any marketing materials to be provided by what is it offer free zone operator? Yes, the immediate next step after this webinars will be a pilot phase. And I think my colleague Nicolas already gave a lot of information about the pilot phase. This first pilot phase will be developed hand by hand with the free zone authority. So we will go, listen, speak, motivate, and incentivize the free zone authority to help us to register their companies. As Nicolas said, all these companies will be registered by us and by the free zone authority in order to build. Let's say the first step, and the first step is the linking the communication tool, the chat tool among the free zones company. This is done by us, and this is done for free. The next phase, and hopefully we will be ready in the second or third quarter of 2021, is really developing the business one, and this will help us during this first or second quarter. We will fine-tune all the needed element of this platform, answering our question, the cost. We expect the cost to be between around $30 a month, $200 to $300 a year. How it will work, how you will exchange, how we'll protect the data. So this will be the objective of this first phase. We are extremely excited with the project. I think it will be a very, very important one for the 3,000 free zones around the world, the 3 million companies. We already contribute to the third of the global trade. I think with such kind of platform, we will be much more efficient. We will increase our collaboration. We will do it in an easier way, in a cleaner way, and a more transparent way. Thank you very much for being there. As I repeated several times in my presentation, all the participants in this event will receive a copy of Nicholas and my presentation. We will answer, this is in 24 hours, we will answer any left questions by email. And I think we have a huge challenge. We have a wonderful project, and we need your help for its success. Thank you so much. Enjoy what is left within this strange 2020, and 2021, you are the most welcome. Thank you very much, and speak to you very soon. Thank you.